The LA Times is reporting that retired Los Angeles Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has been killed in a helicopter crash.
And when this news first happened, I was kind of in shock, and I really didn't know what to believe. Was it misinformation? Was it just Twitter running with a false story? Or was it just some kind of bad meme? But over the course of the day, we did realize that this was actually true, and Kobe, he had indeed passed away. And I was kind of in shock for the rest of the day, because someone like Kobe Bryant, an icon of our era, they're not supposed to pass away age 41 at a tragic incident. I don't think we've ever had a more sad day in the NBA. You saw the outreach of all the players during the games, taking 8-second violations in the backcourt, or taking 24-second violations in the front court, just to pay a little respect they could to Kobe Bryant. That's the kind of big impact he had. You saw several players crying, you saw Doc Rivers giving emotional interviews. That's the impact Kobe Bryant had, and his death was just super shocking, and it really was just surreal. It's still hard to believe that he did pass away because, as I said, someone like Kobe, they're looked at as invincible, nothing can take them down. He's known for having that mentality that he'll do anything to win. And for someone like him to pass away so tragically, it just seems surreal and just seems like it really shouldn't happen. And in this video, I'm just going to run through the 8 most memorable moments of Kobe's career and Kobe's life in general. At number 8, we have Kobe's 40-point game streak from the 2003 season, where he scored 40 points or more in 9 straight games. This is the 3rd longest 40-point streak in NBA history, only behind Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. So Kobe was definitely doing something right, being in the same conversation as those guys. And during this streak, Kobe would average 44 points per game on 50% shooting, 47% from 3, and 83% from the line. So he was definitely playing efficient basketball, and the Lakers actually went 7-2 in those games, so his stats were definitely leading to wins. And during this 03 season, him and Shaq were basically neck and neck for who was the best player on this team, and you cannot say in any way that Kobe was carried this year, because Kobe, arguably, he was the best player on this team, as he did finish higher than Shaq in the MVP race, finishing in 3rd place to Shaq's 5th place, and Kobe also played all 82 games. And during this 9-game streak, Kobe was definitely the best player on the Lakers team, and for the whole season, Kobe actually had more points per game than Shaq, a big telling sign of who the best player on the team is, or who the number 1 option is. So you cannot tell me that Kobe was carried this season. Even though the Lakers didn't win a championship, Kobe definitely carried his own weight, and that's none more evident than his 9-game 40-point streak. At number 7, we have Kobe's 62-point game versus Dallas Mavericks in the 2006 season, and in this game, Kobe would have 62 points on 58% shooting, 40% from 3, and 88% from the line, and scoring 62 points in the game. It's impressive no matter what the circumstances are, but when you take into account Kobe was playing against the Dallas Mavericks team that would finish the season with 60 wins, good enough for the 2nd best record in the West, that is super impressive. It also gets more impressive when you realize through 3 quarters, Kobe had outscored the Mavericks by himself 62-61, and he decided to sit out the whole 4th quarter because the game was already out of reach. You can only imagine how many points Kobe might have had if he stayed in the game, and up to this point in his career, 62 points was his career high. He would match that only 3 weeks later with an even better scoring performance that is also on this list, but we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But Kobe's 62-point game is definitely underrated, and it really is underrated in the fact that he outscored a whole basketball team by himself through 3 quarters, and I don't think any other player in the modern era of basketball has done that. Wilt Chamberlain might have done it, but I've never heard of that game, and Kobe's 62-point game is definitely impressive, and his 05-06 season in general is one of the most impressive scoring seasons in NBA history, and in this game he was definitely vintage Kobe, being an absolute scoring machine. At number 6, we have Kobe's game-tying shot and his game-winning shot versus the Phoenix Suns in the 2006 playoffs, and in the final 10 seconds of this game, the Lakers found themselves down 2 points, with the Phoenix Suns taking the ball out of bounds, and 99% of the time the team up to and with the ball, they are going to win this game because it basically becomes a foul game. I don't think Steve Nash misses 2 free throws, but Kobe Bryant definitely pulled some magic out of his sleeve in this game, as he was able to hit a game-tying shot from basically behind the backboard. It was an awkward floater off kind of one leg, and Kobe, in my opinion, is one of the best difficult shot makers in the NBA history, if not the best difficult shot maker. And this shot is kind of the epitome of Kobe. He can kind of create magic out of nowhere and just find a way to win. And in overtime, he basically did the same thing as Luke Walton won a jump ball, and the ball got tipped back to Kobe, and he went in for the game-winning shot. And that shot is really impressive on its own, but when you realize the Lakers were down 1, and that shot was a do-or-die shot with the buzzer beater going off, that makes it even more impressive. And this is one of Kobe's most clutch games in his career. I mean, you'll be lucky to find a superstar who makes one of these clutch shots in his career, let alone 2 shots in the same game. I think that makes this game really special, and it makes it a really memorable Kobe moment. The Lakers would go on to lose this series, but Kobe definitely entertained us in this game, and he really showed us why they call him the Black Mamba. At number 5, we have another impressive Kobe scoring streak, and this time instead of a 40-point scoring streak, this is actually a 50-point scoring streak, as in 4 straight games Kobe would score 50 points or more, including 2 60-point games and a 65-point game versus the Portland Trail Blazers. And during this 4-game stretch, Kobe would average 56 points per game on 54% shooting from the field, 51% from 3, and 93% from the line. The Lakers would go 4-0 during this streak, and Kobe, he would play a ridiculous 46.6 minutes per game, which is an absolutely ridiculous amount of minutes to play. And to sustain that level of play for 4 straight games, that's basically unheard of for anyone not named Wilt Chamberlain or Michael Jordan. And Kobe, he definitely is in the same breath as those two when it comes to being a great scorer. And this quite possibly is the greatest 4-game scoring streak of all time. Because of the efficiency level and the fact the Lakers won those games, it just makes it that much more impressive. And as I said before, when Kobe, when he got hot, basically no one could stop him. I think he's the greatest streak scorer of all time because he really was unstoppable if he had the green light. And during those 4 games, he definitely had the green light, averaging 56 points per game, including a 65-point game, 2 50-point games, and 1 60-point game. At number 4, we have Kobe's performance in the 2010 finals, where he beat the Boston Celtics in 7 games. And in this series, Kobe was absolutely spectacular. He was facing double and triple teams the whole series, but he still managed to average 28.6 points per game. And throughout this whole series, for me personally, as a Celtics fan, I was scared every time Kobe had the ball in the clutch because he knew he was going to make the big plays, going to make the big pass. We're just going to find a way to win. And throughout the series, he definitely did come through, and he was playing against a great Boston Celtics team that had a top 5 defense in the league. But that didn't stop Kobe Bryant from being great. And in Game 7, I know he didn't shoot well, but he still found a way to get the job done like all the great ones do, having 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 assists. And that stat line doesn't look good, but for a Game 7 and watching that game, you don't want anyone but Kobe taking those shots. Even though he shot 25% from the field, his impact was undeniable that game. That really solidified Kobe's legacy, having 5 rings tying Magic Johnson, and in some people's eyes, making Kobe the greatest Laker of all time. But even more than that, if he would have lost this game, he would have gone to 0-2 versus Celtics in the finals. That would have been a stain on his legacy, and also he would have had a negative finals record post-Shaq. So this finals was definitely important to Kobe's legacy for multiple reasons, and he also won his 2nd finals MVP, which just adds to his greatness in his all-time ranking. And this series, in my opinion, is one of those legendary series of all time. It was up and down throughout the series. Some of the games weren't really that close, but Game 7 was definitely a nail-biter, as the Lakers only won by 4 points, and they needed all of Kobe's effort to win that game, and that's why I have this game and this moment for Kobe at number 4. At number 3, we have Kobe's last game in the NBA ever, where he faced off against the Utah Jazz, and in this game, as everyone knows, Kobe dropped a ridiculous 60 points, and this was impressive for so many reasons. Kobe, at this point in his career, he was 37 years old, and there wasn't really any indication that the Lakers were even going to be competitive versus this Jazz team, or that Kobe was even going to have a really good game. It was expected that Kobe was going to take a lot of shots, but it wasn't expected he was going to drop 60. In reality, most people didn't even think he was going to drop 40, because up to this point, Kobe hadn't even dropped 40 all season, so this night was definitely magical for so many reasons, and it kind of took Kobe from being a legend to being just a supreme legend, just taking him over the top. I mean, scoring 60 in your last game, that's absolutely insane to do, and Kobe on this game, he was running on fumes. He was absolutely exhausted at 37 years old, playing 42 minutes, but what makes this game even better is the fact that the Lakers were down by 10 points in the final 3 minutes, and it didn't look like they were going to have a chance to win the game. But Kobe in that final 3 minutes, he would score 17 total points, including 9 points in the final minute and 30. And you would have clutch basket after clutch basket to keep the Lakers in this game. And the nail in the coffin Kobe had is just an iconic shot over Gordon Hayward. I'll play it for you right here.
Bryant on the move with the jumper. He got it! 58 points!
So, I mean, this last game for Kobe, it played out like a movie script. You couldn't have written a better ending to someone's career. And I mean, this is just another legendary Kobe moment that just makes him legendary status and just makes him a global icon that people just respect and admire. Because at 37 years old, going out and scoring 60 points in an NBA game is absolutely ridiculous, and I can't even comprehend how hard and how exhausting that was. And just on top of that, the fact that he was so clutch and he made every big play on the stretch, it's absolutely mind-boggling. But I mean, that is Kobe. He is mind-boggling, and he does do the unexpected. In this 60-point game, it definitely was unexpected. At number 2, we have Kobe's 81-point game, which is the highest scoring game for his career and the second highest scoring game in NBA history, only behind Wilt's 100-point game. In this game, Kobe, as I said, he would drop 81 points on a ridiculous 60% shooting from the field, 53% from 3, and 90% from the line. And this game is talked about almost every year. 81 points in an NBA basketball game. That's absolutely ridiculous. And Kobe in this game, he played 41 total minutes. That's basically a basket every minute, and that pace is just unheard of. And when you take into account Kobe only had 26 points in the first half, that makes the second half even that much more impressive, as he had 55 points in the second half. And in some people's eyes, this is the most impressive scoring performance in NBA history, considering that Wilt's 100-point game, it wasn't really recorded, there's no film of it, and Wilt, he was a center who was dominating by post moves, and Kobe in this game, he was dominating from a variety of places, pulling up in the mid-range, shooting threes, getting to the basket, going for dunks. He was scoring in every way possible to get those 81 points, and the Lakers definitely needed all those points from Kobe, as they were trailing the Raptors for the majority of the game, but when Kobe exploded in the second half, it really did blow the game wide open, and the Lakers would go on to win that game by 18 points. And this 81-point explosion, it came only 2 weeks after Kobe's 62-point game versus the Mavericks, where he sat out the entire fourth quarter because the game was a blowout. So we all were really lucky that this game was kind of close, and Kobe actually stayed in the game to get 81 points, because who knows, if the Lakers were up by 20 points entering the fourth, Kobe might have sat out again and only had 60 points, and he would have been robbed one of the best scoring performances of all time. Luckily, that was not the case, and we all got to witness Kobe dropping 81 points on the Toronto Raptors. And at number 1, we have Kobe's impact on basketball and his impact on people worldwide. So Kobe Bryant, as many of you know, he was a global star in China, and he was the most popular player in the NBA during the 2000s. And an underrated part about Kobe's legacy is that he really carried the torch from Michael Jordan's era into the 2000s, and he really did keep the league afloat and win 5 championships, and in the process become a global superstar. And what I really want to talk about is Kobe's mentality, and just his ability to lock in and focus and motivate people to be dedicated in whatever field they're in. I think that's invaluable for someone's legacy, and I don't think you can count how many people's lives Kobe has touched, even if he didn't meet them directly. Just looking at YouTube over the internet, people to this day still watch his motivational speeches, they still watch his games. Even at the Super Bowl, they were asking questions, and Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and even Richard Sherman, they were all saying how before the game, they would watch Kobe motivational videos, or they would watch Kobe highlights, just to kind of get them pumped up or get going. And if you look up some of Kobe's motivational videos, he says the Mamba mentality, it's not exclusive to basketball, it's not exclusive to sports, it's a way to live your life on a daily basis. So that is the end of the video. I want to say again, the name Kobe Bryant, it will not be forgotten anytime soon. His legacy on the basketball court and even off the basketball court, it will never be forgotten. And I hope this video just reminded you guys how good a career Kobe had and how important he was to so many people around the world. So again, thank you for watching this video.